Hello everyone and welcome back to more Going Local. Yes, still with Feyenoord here at the start of Season 5. We're still in Holland. It's time to see if we can win the Eredivisie again and the Cup. Yes, welcome back. Hope you are well. It is a new season, but the same team. The Ajax job did not become available. Erik ten Hag is still in charge. No other jobs that became available were either interesting to me or were interested in us. We'll talk about that in a minute, but we are still at Feyenoord. We are back. It's only July, but that's because the Dutch season starts really ridiculously weirdly early. There's a lot of weirdness here in Holland, but today we've got the Dutch Super Cup, or the Johan Cruyff Shield, against, of course, AZ Alkmaar, who did win a League and Cup double last season, so we're playing because we finished second. Hopefully this year, though, we can finish first because we're not going anywhere else. The job situation was really as follows. We did apply for the Tottenham job that was available. We had an interview with Tottenham, and Daniel Levy took 2 months to decide and eventually decided to hire Pep Guardiola. So we've not gone to Spurs. PSG was also available because Mauricio Pochettino was finally hired by Manchester United. We applied for that. We didn't even get an interview there. So that's not particularly good going forwards. So that was the sort of early window. Then, of course, it was the European Championships. These are the jobs available now: Leicester, Nice and Roma. Some decent jobs. Roma especially is sort of vaguely tempting, but I think we're going to stay where we are for now. I want another season. I've already done my transfers. We're going to stick here. Now, because we've come back really quite early on, it's not even August yet. There's still plenty of time to do some transfers. There's still some potential positions to maybe strengthen, but the bulk of my transfer business is done as far as I'm concerned. It's not been easy. Obviously partly because we didn't have much money to spend. We'll look at the transfers in full in a minute, but as difficult as that was, it was made all the more difficult by the fact that the board decided to start takeover talks during the middle of the summer. Literally 2 of our incoming transfers, 1 of our outgoing transfers was instantly cancelled as a result of the transfer embargo, and they didn't even go through. They collapsed. So we have still got the same board. We don't have any more money. The takeover didn't happen. I mean, at least we've not been sacked by a new board. But yeah, that was really irritating. So who has gone? Well, not really many people. Mostly sort of young players who were out on loan already. The only person who you will probably even be aware of is Francesco Antonucci, who we did play occasionally last season. He's gone out on loan to Toulouse. That's the only notable departure so far. There's players I'm trying to sell, Patrick Bamford being one of them, but no interest. There is interest in other players who I'd rather keep, players that we're planning on keeping. So yeah, no one else has gone yet. We did, however, nearly lose 2 players. We'll talk about that first. The first one he's now got to face is Aliou Balde. The breakout star of last season, was brilliant last season. He had a release clause in his contract, which I didn't know about. £16 million. A bid was accepted from Borussia Mönchengladbach, I think, maybe Frankfurt as well. Frankfurt, by the way, the original job we turned down when we had finished in Scotland, they got relegated from the Bundesliga last season, so we definitely have dodged a bullet there. But anyway, they bid for Balde. The clause was activated, but I gave him a new contract, and luckily he chose to stay here, which is good because he was brilliant last season and we want him to continue now. The other player who we nearly lost was Kostas Tsimikas. We accepted a bid from Manchester United for him for about £27 million because he really wanted to go. He was going to kick up a massive fuss if he didn't go. So we accepted the bid, but that was when the board takeover talks happened. The transfer was cancelled. He was furious I'd promised him I'd accept a bid and then turned it down. Well, I didn't turn it down, Kostas. It was the board. Literally nothing to do with me whatsoever. So yeah, I promised him he can leave once we've signed a replacement. So we're just not going to sign a replacement. So hopefully he'll be all right. So what about who we have brought in? Well, first of all, we have renewed the loans of both Xavi Simons. He's now got a face, and Jaden Braff as well. He's now got a face too. Nice to see them both looking so happy to be here. Just made sense that neither of them was on particularly crazy money, so to get them both in, both good reliable options, more or less. Simons wasn't very good, but he's a good option in the squad. But what about the other moves? Well, first of all, 2 free transfers to help us out. Probably the most notable names, actually. Davy Prupper is the first one, of course. Brighton and Hove Albion player. We've signed him from Brighton on a free. Spent last year on loan at Celtic Vigo. Did pretty well. Has had some great ratings so far. To get him for free, quality player, 32 years old, physically declining maybe a little bit, not the most gifted technically aside from his passing and first touch, but that's all we really need him for. I think the deep line playmaker role is a sort of rotation option with Cataldi will do quite nicely. Fantastic mentals. He's a good player, experienced head to have in the squad. I like it. Also joining on a free transfer is a man who I previously in previous FMs spent a big amount of money on, Javiro Dilrosun former Manchester City Youth Academy player, is at Hertha Berlin in real life now. He got sold by them to Trabzonspor. Hasn't done amazingly well in Turkey or in Germany before it, but his attributes are quite nice. I like the dribbling a lot, decent finishing. Not the craziest mentals apart from perhaps the flair, but I think a decent squad option, helping out as backup on the right-hand side. And now this man could be the key to this. We wanted a striker. We wanted a good striker. I think we have got a good striker. Brian Brobby has joined us on loan from Everton. They're prepared to let him go on loan for just his wages. It's a very good deal. He's really good. Bamford, I think, is just not for me. But Brian Brobby, along with Ilias and Djurokovic as well, perhaps, this is the striker we need, I think, to help us out this season. Bit more depth in midfield from a sort of defensive perspective. The box-to-box role, Leandro Fernandez has joined us, actually our highest value signing in terms of fee, £4 million from Bayer Leverkusen. Decent season last year in Germany as well. And finally, Xavier Mbayamba has joined us from Spain. What is it? From Extremadura in the Spanish second division. Decent season last year as well. He, of course, is at real life in the Chelsea sort of youth teams at the moment, and looks quite decent. An upgrade on some of the sort of backup defenders we have. Yeah, some nice attributes here, especially the 15 heading. Could find his way into the first team potentially if St. Juste is not playing especially well. So that is it for now. We've got £3 million left to spend. Obviously, we may well lose some players. Shimikas, I'm going to probably have to let him go if we get a reasonable bid for him from someone he's interested in going to. I am potentially interested in a new right back, maybe another striker as well, actually. We haven't used either wildcard at this stage. All the transfers we've made have been Dutch players, so those are still available if needs be. But let's see if we can kick the season off in style by winning our first trophy in charge of the club. We've got the Dutch Super Cup, the Johan Cruyff Shield, I believe it's called, against AZ Alkmaar. Can we get things off to a good start to proceedings this year? Can we lay down a marker early on against the team who just had a ridiculously good season last year and won everything domestically? I'll probably post these on Twitter if I remember. If you're not following on Twitter, make sure you do. Link in the description below. But we did have these 2 points of contention, shall I say. We did, last season's points tally was apparently the record Eredivisie tally for a second place side, so that seems fair. And also we did win Manager of the Year for finishing in second place. Harsh on the Alkmaar manager, I think, but a pain we know all too well. Of course, we did in our first season of the save, of course, win the SPL unbeaten with Celtic, and yet they gave Manager of the Year to Steven Gerrard. So, easy come, easy go. But let's see if we can get off to winning ways at the start of the season. Start as we mean to go on. This is the team for the game against AZ Alkmaar, the Community Shield, essentially, in Holland. And, well, it's more or less the same with one key switch, because I think the starting lineup last season was really quite good. Overall, performed generally to a high level. And thinking about how things went at Celtic, obviously our first season was good. We won the league, but Rangers were really good that season. They pushed us really close. Our second season, we were absolutely outstanding. We blew so many teams away. We did so well in Europe as well. It was a really strong performance all year, and I think that came from having a year for the players to get used to the system, and then they really kicked on in the second season. So hopefully that will happen here as well. Anyway, Specken is going to be in goal. He's going to get the nod right from the start. He did really well when he came into this side. The defence is currently the same. Shimikas, Senesi, St. Juste, and John Joe Kenny returns. Bit of poor form towards the end of the season. As I say, might look to get another right back in, but he's going to certainly start for now. Midfield is going to be Cataldi, Davis, and Van Cam. Again, stuttered as the year went on, but he's improved, and we're going to start him here today. Bertrand Traore is on the right-hand side. Braff is going to be on the left. It will be Balde. He will be starting for us, but he is at the Olympic Games today, so we won't have his services for a few weeks, unfortunately. And then Brian Brobby is going to be leading the line for us up front. Slightly concerning is the fact that we have in pre-season, we've beaten these 2 teams who I can only assume are sort of like non-league teams or very low league teams in Holland. We won this game 16-0. We won this game 12-0. Brobby didn't get any goals. So 28 goals altogether. Brian Brobby did not score. Slightly concerning. Hopefully he's just sort of he's going to be firing on all cylinders today. Right, we've got a corner early on. Cataldi swings it in, looking for Senesi. We need them to be sort of gelling a bit more this season in terms of a sort of regular goal-scoring partnership. Otherwise, Amba's going to come in. Hopefully, will be a little bit better. Brobby's in, and Brian Brobby, he did not score in any of the friendlies. He scored just over 3 minutes in to his first competitive match, and I like that a lot. Saves it for the big occasions. That's why he's not bothered about friendlies. Doesn't matter to him. What matters is when he's playing competitive games. Good quick movement, great finish. That's what we were lacking last season from all of our other strikers. Certainly in the ascendancy here, Kenny with a throw, finds Traore, pings it back, and it goes all the way back to Cataldi, but he can look to recycle the possession. Obviously, we did do quite well against Alkmaar directly last season. We beat them, and we drew with them. Van Kam is in, and he's onside, and it's a beautiful goal. He flicks it over the goalkeeper. The pass from Cataldi was outstanding. Obviously, this is, very early days. This is not a league game, but it's boding well. Lovely ball from Cataldi. The keeper commits, and Van Kam keeps his cool, and it's 2-0. Just a reminder, apparently this team was better than us last season. This team went virtually unbeaten for most of the season. We were only 3 points behind them in the end, though. Well, as first halves go, that was pretty good. I like that one a lot. I liked it a lot. Pleased with the performance. Keep it going. Some of the boys are getting a little bit tired. Brobby and Braff already, their fitness is declining quite a bit, but yeah, we've got a 2-goal lead. We're already looking good. Well, it's been a very uneventful second half. Not a single highlight, and they've nearly scored from that one, so that's good. But it looks like we're going to hold on, and we are going to win. Not a trophy we need. The first trophy we don't need, but a trophy nevertheless. Our first piece of silverware in charge of Feyenoord, and a fine way to start the season off. Hopefully a sign of things to come, a good omen this season. It's not quite on the level of the league or the cup, but we'll take it. We'll take it all day long. There we go. Absolutely living it large. We have won a piece of silverware in 2 countries. Only 2 trophies we need. We are 4 years in at this point. We've got a lot to do still, but this is a good start to the season nevertheless. Well done, boys. A good performance. And it was a very good performance, actually. Very controlled. We got the job done in the first half and never really looked in danger at all. That's hopefully a sign of things to come. But what is to come? Well, hopefully a title, hopefully a cup as well. But, it's going to be quite a weird start to the season. We're actually playing Alkmaar very early on, but we just played them and we just beat them. Obviously, this is the more important one, the League One. Hopefully, we can get the job done here as well. But, yeah, we're not going to do the same thing again. So, we'll treat this as the sort of start of the season. So, we will go a little bit more of a way into the season. We've got the Champions League qualification round, the 3rd knockout round. We've got Sporting Club de Portugal, who are quite a difficult prospect, probably the hardest team we could have had. So thanks for that game. Once again, being screwed over by draws. Hopefully we make it through there. Obviously that's sandwiching the Alkmaar game, which is kind of an important one. But as I said, we'll probably go a little bit further in. I mean, if we get past Sporting, then potentially the some kind of leg of the playoff round, maybe what we do. But what I think we'll probably do is come back sort of right at the end of the transfer window, probably actually ADO Den Haag and then Pexval, so that if there's any sort of late transfer business, you get to see that as well. Also because Heerenveen is quite far afterwards. It depends on if we get to the Champions League as well, but that might sort of change what we do. But yeah, a little bit of a way into the season. But anyway, that is going to be that for today. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. Let me know what you think of the transfers. Let me know how you think we're going to get on this season as well. Are we going to win the trophies we need to win, or is it going to be another case of so near but yet so far? Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.